Alright. Hey guys, Dante here and welcome back to my channel, The Virgo's Heart. And welcome back to another Sunday night stream. I have not been too consistent with streams because I have been busy with many other art projects. Wink wink, nudge nudge. I'll show you that in just a second. But it's good to be back. Today we're just gonna be pointing this way. Today we're just gonna be doing some inking on this random sketch I did. I created a random kind of ghostly character. He's kind of meant to like embody ravenous nature, starvation, and ravenous hunger. That's what this character represents. And let's go do some inking. Very, very chill drawing today. Excuse me as I nastily pick in my ear. Got water in the ear. Oh. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna be just be doing some inking with him. Nothing crazy. And I think that's really it. So. That music, hope the music comes along well. Let's do a rundown of news. First things first, look what I got in the mail. I got my tickets for New York Comic Con. I should have bought the 4-day ticket. I had the chance and I didn't, like an idiot. And then I found out that Critical Role, the cast of Critical Role, is once again coming to New York Comic Con, but they're only doing autographs on Thursday. So I missed out on that. To be honest, I'm looking at the list of guests. A lot of the list is photo ops only. Like there's very few people who are like celebrities, quote unquote, ranging from like actors to voice actors to like, you know, boxers and maybe a wrestler or two. They're all doing photo ops. Ron Perlman, from what I can tell, was doing photo ops. He's gonna be there. What's his name from Rocky Horror Picture Show? His name, I always just forget his name for some reason. But Rocky Horror Picture Show, he was a villain in Ferngully, he was the butler in Clue, etc., etc. You know what I'm talking about. He's also only going to be doing photo ops. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I'm going to take some time and I'm going to go to the list of panels. The search engine on New York Comic Con has never been good. So you can't just search something. You have to just literally go to the panel list and see what you find. But strange enough, at a first glance, there's not much there that like really catches my attention, which is weird. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I could just focus on Artist Alley like I normally do. Like really take my time and show off my cosplay. Cause I'm gonna be doing a cosplay this year. Tim Curry, thank you, thank you, freaking, thank you, Joe, Tim Curry. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a cosplay, and it's gonna be really cool. In fact, I'll show you a sneak peek of that right now. But yes, that's the tickets I got. I made this giant robot fist. What is this? Why does it have skin on it? Why does it have skin tone and silver? And why is it massive? And why is it so freaking cool? So. Yeah, I don't know why. I always forget Tim Curry's name. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But anyway, yeah. So, this is part of my costume. I am working on a costume. Technically, the bulk of the costume is done. I'm just right now going to add some details to it. This is one of 2 giant arms I've made. I am actually in the middle, about middle, of editing a video about that. So, as October rolls in, right before New York Comic Con, I'm gonna upload a video telling you what that is. For those of you who do not follow me on Instagram or Twitter, if you did, you would know what the costume is. If you don't, stay tuned. Because I'll be uploading a short video explaining how I made that particular arm and how you could use that same process to make the rest of your costume. You're gonna be Iron Man. You're gonna be the Juggernaut. You're gonna be the Incredible Hulk. If you need a costume that's just big and bulky but also kind of lightweight, that's the video I'm gonna be doing regarding that robotic fist. But once again, if you want to get a sneak peek of what it's for, check out my Instagram. Check out my Twitter. Go do it. And I want to say those are the 2 only real big things right now that come to mind. Joe, don't be disappointed in me, please, Joe. Please, Joe. It's worse. It's like when your dad says, "I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed." By the way, big shout out to Kratorius Rex, my good friend, pretty much one of my best friends, Joe. Follow him on Instagram. He has amazing artwork. Keep an eye on his YouTube channel because he's trying to get more and more into streaming. But big shout out to him because he actually supplied me with some much needed reference for this particular cosplay, and it is gonna be a cosplay. It's not just gonna be like the Aku mask I've done in the past, or years ago when I did Retgar from Transformers out of like cardboard before I knew how to do any kind of cosplay. The only cosplay I've ever done was the Quarryman from Gargoyles. That was years ago, and all it really was like the hood. I made the hammer out of like cardboard and insulation foam. It was heavy as hell. Expandable insulation foam, not regular insulation, not regular sheets of insulation foam, and like a cross belt with some like details. A giant Q that has the hammer in it for the Quarryman. And the rest was like leather jacket, black pants. No one knew who I was, but everyone kept stopping me because the guy, he just looked cool. It was like a black hood with like goggles sticking out of him. It's strange enough, like it's weird how simple things catch people's attention, even though no one knew who the character was. And that was like the only real cosplay I've done. So there's a cosplay in which I'm gonna be walking around bumping into stuff. Hey, intern, I'm gonna be walking around bumping into stuff. Usually I don't do that for Comic-Con. I like to wear just a mask if I could like walk around the con, take off the mask, enjoy it. But this is gonna be a full-on costume. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Per usual, if you hear noise in the background, that's my 3D printer. It's been going non-stop for the past 2 weeks or so, if not more. And I'm slowly making a product that requires several pieces. So it is just going full force. And I'm happy with that project. And you should see more about that later on as well. And once again, you could probably guess what the project is on my 3D printer if you follow me on less social media. Alright, enough of that. Let's do some drawing. Let's do some spooky bones. Switching over to just the music. Got a crick in my freaking elbow. Oh. I need a new computer table. I keep telling myself to buy a new computer table. Something looks off here. Is my resolution off? No. It's like the resolution is off on this picture. Copy. Paste. Yeah, what? Yeah, that resolution was. What the heck happened to that picture? Yeah, I knew something was weird. Like my I was using a 0.3, and it was still looking very iffy. Try this again. There we go. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Let's go for 0.4. Yeah, resolution was like just doo-doo. So if anyone's been following the last few live streams, this is still in the same vein as those live streams. This is once again the bottled spirits concept that myself and Joe have been working on. Well, Joe actually has been doing a lot of his own stuff on like his own concepts, but he helped spur this idea. Like he helped get it going for sure. So I have to give him credit, of course. But yeah, I still need to do some editing, some actual editing to the last image we were working on, because I definitely want to finish the ghost book, the book that explains like how the main character has been keeping track of all of his knowledge regarding the supernatural realm. So yeah, definitely check out those streams if you haven't already. They should be up on YouTube, and the still images from those streams, the actual like finished drawings, should also be up on Instagram and my DeviantArt, because I keep forgetting to like update my DeviantArt page with like the finished work. I love DeviantArt. I just don't keep it as updated because it just I don't know. If I fall off the bandwagon. And also because I'm still very disappointed with the state of the many AI accounts on DeviantArt, and just money grubbers. It's absolutely, there's always that one person who's like, hey look, a new cheap way for me to make money off of other people's work. Oh, I'm totally for that. And that's what you get with AI artwork. All those freaking accounts on DeviantArt. They gotta do something about it, man. So many great artists up and left DA because of that. Like professional artists up and left because they're like, yeah, we're not doing this. We're not dealing with this tomfoolery. As per usual, the fun thing about drawing monsters, you don't really have to be anatomically correct. Just make it look creepy. I keep glancing to my side, and I'm still seeing that. I'm still seeing what you wrote, Joe, about how you're being disappointed in me. And every time I look at the side and just see the name Tim Curry, I think there's like a video game he did that like it's become a meme, but it's like one of those video games where it's like actual footage. It was like it would cut from like the video game to actual footage, and he plays like this general or something, and he just the meme is him going space. It's just him like so excited that the game takes place in space. He's like, yes, that's true. You are going to space. And just Tim Curry, man. I freaking love that man. I just like I was thinking to myself, if he is doing autographs, what would I get him to sign? I mean, usually they have like images at his table of like all the things that they've done. I think the real reason they're gonna be there this year is because it's him and I forget her name too, but she's a famous actress, who was one of the co-stars in Rocky Horror. She plays she's Janet. Damn it, Janet. She's that character. And she's gonna be there. They're there as like a duo, like signing stuff and taking photographs. Well, once again, more taking photographs than actually signing, from what I can tell. Oh, Hexus, man. Oh, yeah. I mentioned that earlier during the stream. Like, yeah, Hexus. Oil and Grime. Oh, my God. Freaking love it. I want to say he had a bit role in the Batman Beyond series as well. I can't say for sure who the character was, but I want to say he did a bit role in that as well. But he's done voices like, you know, he's Nigel Thornberry. So he goes from playing like truly like evil characters like Hexus to like, it's like one of the best dads in the world, Nigel Thornberry. He's also, so in the movie Legend, is his name Darkness? Is that literally what he's called? I mean, he's obviously meant to be like the devil, or you assume he's like the son of the devil. He's just designed as like Satan, but he talks about his father. But is his name like literally like I am Darkness? Is that like his name, what he really is in that movie? Because I feel like every time I see someone talk about it, it's just the character of Darkness, like. Not the Prince of Darkness, like that. I think he just writes upright says, I am darkness. I am the night. Yeah, and just that weird thing where he falls in love with the prince. He falls in love with the girl because she's pure, but not like a true love, more like an obsessive love. Like it truly is like a fantasy story in terms of like how the villain works, how he works. Like he is just pure darkness and evil. But he falls in love with the girl, but also wants to taint her. But he's in love with the fact that she's not tainted. It's a fun story. Let me see. Checking the chat right now. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about. I wasn't sure if I was thinking of the same episode, but you're right. Joe, me and you, man, me and you. I was like, I know he was in it, but he was like an assassin. But there's not many assassin episodes. I remember he's running from the character of Kirai, and he's like, "You gotta help me, Batman, or I'll blow up the city." This is looking quite nice so far. I'm purposely making the bone really bumpy and like messed up. You gotta love that butt chin. The butt chin's so strong it goes to the bone. Let's do a quick save as, make a new one. I want to call this Bone, but that's not what he is. He's meant to be... Let's call it Ravenous. Joe, how you spell Ravenous? I should be bothering him. I'm like, my buddy Joe is right now like in the middle of like a workout, but he's like also being distracted by me freaking like streaming. Oh, of course Tom Savini did the makeup for freaking Satan. And he, oh man, and that's a character who was like designed to just, what's it called? Is it called mugging? When you mug the screen, just the lips. He's like, yes, I am darkness. Like he is just designed for Tim Curry to just milk it for all it's worth. Dang it! I know I misspelled it. Thank you, Joe. The bad thing is, if I can't spell it when I'm naming the file, how will I find the file? One second, guys. Open. This gets deleted. Right click that. Delete that. Open that file. There we go. With its little curved in. It's like, you got a sandwich? That's kind of like he's either really evil or he's like, you guys got a sandwich? Kind of hungry. And I'm gonna change the hands. So I was thinking of like having the hands become human again. I don't know. Maybe I'll change that. Should have been drinking these. Too much sugar in them. This movie feels like very like 90s. Not, I said movie, sorry. This music feels like very 90s. Like you would hear it. It's not quite elevator music, but definitely like something you would hear like in the interim of like a video or something. Like a workplace video, like, welcome to learning how to cook. You know, for like freaking Taco Bell or something. No, it wouldn't be Taco Bell. It would have to be like Pizza Hut. That could be Pizza Hut. I actually don't want to ink the fire right now. I want to get into the habit of like not inking fire. There's a few pictures I want to go back and like remove a few pictures we've done in the past. Like the flame made, in which I want to like just unink the fire because I already did the color for it. I just want to like work on how I do ethereal objects, smoke, fire, things like that. So we're doing cross hatching for the solid black. I'll probably go back and do cross hatching in general as well. Even though I gave him really, even though I'm purposely giving him like exaggerated, I don't like the way that bone looks. Even though I'm giving him like exaggerated, like bones and how I hit, you know, incorrect anatomy, I actually do wanna fix up the forearms. I don't want to have just that. I want to get some better images of the forearms. That makes no sense, right? Look at that. That makes no sense. It should be like here, right? Yeah. Un momento. And your eyes do not deceive you. There is no brick background this time. I tried the brick background before. It's nice. It just takes a minute to set up. So I'm like, ah, screw it. You guys can see my door behind me. It's fine. Just doing a quick look into the forearms to make his bones look a bit cooler. Somewhat. Forearm bones. In truth, the forearm, the bones, they semi-cross as you move your wrist, if that makes sense. Which I don't really care for in terms of this picture right here that I'm doing. I just want to get a better idea of like general shape. Yeah, definitely straighter than they should be here. Yeah. Gotta love that jazz. You like jazz? I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. Good. There's a good anatomy picture. Actually, kind of flat. Gotta get nice and close. Ooh, there we go, I found this reference I can use. Okay, that looks better. Because one of them is wider than the other, like that. Once again, we're not going for actual anatomy on this. Just a general shape. don't know what to do for the hands. I guess I was thinking of like having actual like hands. Like it goes from bones to like emaciated hands. So like and the hands are kind of burnt to match the fact that the bone has like literal flames coming off of it. Maybe the hands are like attached via these like tendrils that it's hanging off. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't think I do. I don't know if I like the hands like being like little spindly things hanging off of him. Gotta figure out something to do with that. How about we just get to it? Let's get the legs. Let's get the pants done. Let's get the pants, the hint of the legs, and then we'll return to the hands. How do knots work? I don't know. Maybe I should make his hands bigger. Because the skull's so big, I should just take this hand and kind of blow it up. It's the connecting point. I could just have flames dividing the bony hands versus like the actual bone body. Bone daddy, if you would. But yeah, maybe I could do that. That's fine. Yeah, the bigger hands look a bit more menacing. And then do some flames off of them to separate the two. Yeah, we're gonna okay that. Also, give him some nice fingernails. Yeah, I like that. I want to snack, but I shouldn't snack. I got food that I'm gonna kill off for a late dinner. So we're gonna power through it, and I have myself a late dinner. Let me see something real quick. Oh! I was just about to check to see if my print was done. Stand by, everyone. I thought the print was gonna keep going until like until like 10 o'clock. One moment. Doobie-doobie-doo. I want to get the print off now while the plate's still hot because I'm getting some stick residue from previous prints. Like I just can't seem to scrape off the 3D plastic. I don't want that to be an issue in the future. I'll give you guys a bit of a peek. So this is bronze, and it's this. You can't really tell what it is for sure, but it's basically several different pieces. You have a lock. You have a design that is a tower emerging from a book, and you have these really cool like corner pieces. So these are basically the what's going to go on the cover of plastic books on 3D printing. These are the corners that you usually see in old books to protect them from being dented, a fake lock, and a golden sigil. And yes, I do print them with a brim. For those of you who don't know how it works with 3D printing, there's different ways to do. But there's always like a pre-print, if you would. Most printers are set to do a single line outline around what is printing to kind of prime the material as it's coming out, and then they print. But I'm going to be selling these, and I've been having some issues where the prints begin to lift, and I'm like, I'm not going to have this issue. I want this to be right, so I don't mind using the extra material to do with this kind of brim, so rather than this one line, it does an entire like skirt around it. There are different terms. It's brim, skirt, and something else. I forget which one's which, to be honest. But basically, I'm using the extra material here. Because normally, you just kind of... There we go. That's the corner of the book. You can see how much material was used to anchor it to the board. Anchor it to the plate. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. That should make, of that particular piece, that should make number 9. At this moment, I should have enough material. I have enough material to do up to 15 completed books. And they're all going to be different colors. So stand by for that. Once again, not really paying much attention to actual bone anatomy. Originally, I was going to have, once again, this what a knee would be. I was going to have that become more fleshy. But I think I will just stick with the bone for this. Only the hands are flesh on this guy. could probably make this. Yeah. Extend these legs a bit more. Let's give these bones some character. Yeah, cracks and scratches and dings and dents in them. It's fun just designing like ghostly characters. Just creepy characters that shamble around. What color to make the flame? Instinctually I want to do blue flame. But I don't know, maybe I should do something else. Different color. Okay, I'm gonna do first right now as well. I'm gonna grab this basic sketch for the hand. And I'm gonna make it bigger, so I can use that as the next reference. There we go, that's better. Nope, too skinny. It needs to match the other side. I don't want to make the hands too bony, just creepy enough. Okay, let me do some planning with this. This hand came out a little weird in the sketch. There we go. That's better. I'm sure you all know how much us artists love to freaking draw hands. I say that, but I know a few artists who excel at it. Like that's their bread and butter because they just love the details of it. Nah. Don't change it. Keep it straight. That's a messed up hand. That looks horrible. Like there's drawing creepy hands and then there's not drawing a good hand at all. There's a difference. So let's see what we could do on this. Okay, better. Not perfect, but better. You should draw the feet, Dante. I don't want to draw the feet yet. Okay. So we're gonna pause on this, even though the feet aren't done. And I want to draw. Let's make it green. Let me turn the color. Let me turn off my color thing. Turn off my color eye safety. So I could so I could figure out what kind of flame I want. I kind of want blue flames, but I've done blue already. At least for one character, I did blue. The flame maid I think was like purple flames. But I did a character a while back who was blue in color. Her name was Sorrow. I kind of want to go back to her, but also the implication of what she is really dark. So I don't know if I want to go back to her. But maybe I should go for green, even though green is sickly. So if it's green flame, it will be a lighter green in the center, darker green on the outside. I think that's like a good way to go about it. Yeah. Let's go with this as a starting color. Just go nuts with it. Let's take away the background. That blue background isn't gonna help me right now. No, that's not right. It should be lighter, like this color. There we go. Let's putting too much white. The white and the green should be like the very center, the last bit of it. For now. Yeah. We're just gonna do two-tone shading for the fire right now, and then we'll figure out the rest a little bit. So we're not really coloring him yet. We're just doing the fire, which needs color to exist. Cause I'm not good. I don't want to ink it, like I said. Yeah, I like that. That works. That works. Then we'll add another. Then we'll add a. So this is the base color. This is the base dark and the base light, and then we'll add like super light at the core of the flame, and then dark on the edges. Dark. This is the flame kind of curling on the back of his skull. like when flame rolls on an object, it doesn't just burn it. Sometimes it'll roll across the top of it. That's kind of what this is. Need to lean back. I'm like stressing my neck. Like I'm trying to sit back, but my neck is going craning forward. That's you're gonna twist a muscle doing that. Jeez. I'll to this day I'll never forget, and this is a joke that goes all the way back to freaking high school for me and Joe and the few people out there who may remember. But when Justice League was on Cartoon Network, such a good show. When Justice League was on Cartoon Network and became Justice League Unlimited, essentially like when they introduced like a larger chunk of the DC universe into the Justice League cartoon. There's the famous line in like the last episode where the villains help the heroes stop the end of the world, and then Wonder Woman's like, okay, now we gotta put all the villains in jail. And the villains are like, hey, wait a minute, we just help you save like the universe. And I think Batman says, we'll give you like a 10-minute head start. And like I think it's 10 minutes, maybe he says 5 minutes, we'll give like a 5-minute head start. And Flaming Skull, who's this huge like bruiser of a dude with a little green skull, says 10 minutes. Like you realize his voice is like super high pitched. I'm probably exaggerating like how high pitched it is, but in the scene it is the perfect pitch for like to surprise you as to what his voice actually sounds like. Now I always remember that was like always a gag like I used to do back in high school. 10 minutes. That was such a good show. Like there are a few shows that like you know, to be on TV, they have to tell the producers, oh yeah, this is definitely the, you know, 10 to 13 demographic. And then when you watch it, like, no, it's not. It's meant to be like for teens, meant to be like older teens and up. And Justice League Unlimited reached that point where it was one of those shows where like it just had like certain topics, the way they were presented, and some of the best shows out there have to do that. They have to claim they're there for one demographic age, just to be greenlit, and then they slowly get better. And not better, sorry, they slowly like show like more adult topics. Justice League was one of them. Young Justice tried to be that from the get-go, but they just got screwed over with they kept getting shifted like with whenever they were on air, and kind of fizzled out. I mean, they got in the end they had a good run. You could probably find like a good amount of like they had a good run in terms of episodes, but they just kept getting like screwed over like okay, first it'd be a Saturday morning. They try to bring back the Saturday morning like vibe with DC. That's when you got like that pretty good Green Lantern series. And then Young Justice then it got on hiatus. Then it was like completely moved to HBO Max because they were trying so hard to get people to watch that freaking station. And now it's just Max, and it doesn't matter because they're already erasing half the freaking stuff on their service anyway. Then it went to Netflix. Sorry, went to Netflix, then HBO Max, and HBO Max. I mean, they had a few seasons of like pretty okay shows. I didn't see the last one. The last one I think focused on Zatanna. But I think the issue with Young Justice compared to Justice League started with a solid base. And when they introduced other characters, they still stuck more or less with the main cast. But for Young Justice, you just had these time skips and you don't know what happened in between. I don't know. It wasn't horrible, but it just was slightly different than the way Justice League did it. In terms of like time skip. I mean, that's what it was. Justice League introduced new characters as it went along, but never did a time skip. Young Justice did time skips and introduced new characters. So you were like, what? When did this happen? Who's this guy? Who's that girl? So even if you enjoyed the new characters, you also felt like you were missing out on like stuff that happened in between the introduction of said new characters. And I think that was the struggle of that series. And if it had more time, Greg Weisman and his crew would have probably done more flashbacks to really flesh out the in-between gaps. It was a good series. It just struggled. Yeah, but to bring it all back, yeah, Atomic Skull. Freaking fun character, freaking Atomic Skull. I actually don't know anything about him, like, outside of just the few appearances he did in Justice League. He was just a big bruiser who just, like, had apparently a radioactive skull for a head. And that's all I know about him. Actually, you know what? When I get, if I'm sure he's in the book, I have the DC Thesaurus, and that was made in 2004. So before they did like the New 52, the DC Thesaurus basically is them trying to do legitimate bios on almost all their like major characters, which is hard because they have to like include retcons and like things like that. Up to like I want to say 2004, yeah, up to about 2004. So it has like a lot of nice like little retcon details and stuff. Why am I erasing it? Get back here. It has a lot of cool stuff in terms of like just characters you never heard of, characters you haven't seen in a while at all. Like there's a lot of characters in the DC Thesaurus that just like you don't see at all, but they were like from the 50s and 40s. But you don't see them anymore. Or when they do show up, they're like, they're considered like C-listers by today's standards. But it was really cool, like looking at them and trying to see, like seeing how they try to like make sense of like a lot of these like characters, like Donna Troy, the first Wonder Girl. Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. For those of you who don't know, it basically boils down to this. Wonder Woman had an issue many, many years ago. By issue meaning not an issue herself. I mean like a comic book. And on the cover, it showed her de-aging. So there was her, Wonder Girl, and Wonder Baby, but it was just really just her the whole time. Like that's the cover. And since not every artist was on the same page, no pun intended, some guy saw that picture of like young Wonder Woman and thought, oh, some other artist must have created a Wonder Girl. I'll use her for my Teen Titans storyline. And thus, Wonder Girl was created, even though she wasn't created before. And ever since then, they've struggled to like give her a solid retcon. But in this thesaurus, before the New 52, the way they did it is that Wonder Girl is a literal mirror reflection of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman as a child walks by a mirror and a reflection of herself is created, and she essentially has a twin sister that she could grow up with because she's the only child of the Amazons. And according to this thesaurus, the story at that time was that some jerk shows up, tries to kidnap Wonder Woman when she's little. Like he goes back in time and kidnaps the twin by accident, and is so pissed he traps her in a loop where she lives life over and over again and dies tragically. And that was their way of explaining why Wonder Girl had several different origins. It's all the same person reliving her life until she finally escaped this like evil wizard. And I was like, that's dark, but it also combines every single no storyline. But of course, it's not perfect. New 52 came out, and good luck with that. Of course, I'm super simplifying it. I'm sure someone out there is going to be like, actually, in issue 4, panel 7, the artist misspells her name, so it could be a different character. Whatever, man. I am digging this music. This is, wait. I'm not even sure which what I chose on Streamlabs. This is the Streamlabs free music. I just chose I don't know what section I chose. So he has flames coming off of like his skull, his just kind of flickering off here and there, but he actually has like a center flame where his heart would be. That's what this is right here. I'm liking this kind of, you call it Beach Boys kind of music right here. With a howl. See, this one's gonna be a little different. Notice all the flames have a center and they flicker up. There's gonna have a center. It's gonna be slightly separated. So what I mean is, all the flames coming off of it won't be touching the center orb. The orb is the main power of like the main source of like the heat, but they will not necessarily be coming off of it. Just it kind of showing you like there's a difference in this. Actually quite enjoying like drawing this flame stuff. The flame is on a layer above the ink, so I have to like very carefully erase some of the flame to have the ink layer come back out. Like that, that's definitely an organ, the music I mean. Like it has like kind of like slight 70s, what's it called? Oh, I'm thinking of, oh god, what's his name? Not Deuce Bigelow. That's a different character. I'm thinking of, The Spy Who Shagged Me. God, what's his name now? Oh my god. Austin Powers, there we go. Austin Powers feel. Ooh, I like that. Let me turn off the eye protection for a minute. That because I have to make sure I'm looking at the right color. That is good. Okay, I don't think we need the sketch anymore. I'll put the blue back in there. Just save that, please. Save that. guess we're in the foreign section of the music. I like it. Who is calling me? Stand by. I wanna actually. There's a friend of mine I haven't spoken to in a while, so I just want to send him a text that says, "Hey dude, try and get back to you later." If my phone wants to cooperate, that is. Yeah, I guess we're in the French section of the playlist. All right. You do some curly Q as well. Let me add a little bit, just to kind of like carry it up the arm a little bit as well. There is an individual on DeviantArt. I follow him, but his name right now escapes me. And this guy is just a character design machine. He's just always pumping out these weird, like anything goes kind of character design, right? Like he'll do one based on a bumblebee and it's a superhero with like the stingers in his chest, or like a pun, like bare fist. It's a guy with a little bare fist. But I also notice his designs do kind of what I'm doing here, where they have like random flames coming off of them. Like they all have that though. They all have like the energy coming off of them, even if like their main gimmick isn't fire. Did they get sent out? Did my text get sent? Let me actually send the link while I'm at it. There we go. Sorry about that. Just want to, I haven't spoken to him in a while, so I figured maybe send him a link, see if he wants to join the chat. Well, let me see. We call the flame with some bones. Kibitzin, no. But I wasn't sure how much I wanted the center flame to be there. Like originally, I was like, should I just do a rib cage with the flame on the inside? But I'm like, yeah, you've seen that before. You've seen skeletons with the fires on the inside. Technically, that's what Ghost Rider is. He wears a leather jacket over it, but his entire body is like that. So I just kind of decided to do the spotty flame, but where the fleshy on hands meet the bone, that is an actual like connecting point. I was like, yeah, I want to do that for sure. Okay, now we're just going to do a little bit of... Now I'm going from the brightest green and a little bit of white in there. Now I am going to do like little flickers of... That's the erase tool. I'm going to do little flickers in here. Make it a bit more white. This is like the small flicker of like light on the inside. It's just like a weird version. I'm listening to the music. It's like a weird version of Tango. It sounds like a techno version of you know the movie. I just think the movie True Lies. If I hear the Tango, I just think of like True Lies all the time. I really like the way the top of the skull looks with the rolling fire. I think that looks real good. Then I'll go back and I'll add little bit of darker green on the edges where the flame begins to die out. Still don't know what to do for the feet. Like that. Bubble, almost like the center is bubbling as opposed to flaming. go in with a small really small brush. So this darkest part will be at the very tips, but it will also be at the base where the rolling fire is at. 'Cause it's kind of like slowly getting snuffed out as it rolls away from the center mass of the fire. Just a few like little tips like that. Blotches of it. Yeah, there's a few little blotches here and there of this much darker green. Right here where it curls out the most. Here where it curls out wide. Just extend the very tip of the flames a bit more, just a little bit. I'm sure someone out there probably has better technique for flames, but it's me trying something new. Got this random little bubble of flame right here. I don't want to put a dark... Should I put a dark green? Yeah. You gotta be careful, because once again, I don't want to make it look like I'm outlining the fire. It's just meant to be an extension of what the color already is. Let's use a different pen. Let's use a brush instead. No, it's too light. I try to use color pencil. It's a bit too light. Pencil, pastel, brushes. Watercolor. Opaque. Oh, too big. I'm basically adding a very, very light white green in the center. Just enough to like, you can tell it's a bit of a little bit of a whitish in there. Yeah, that is some good looking flame. That's actually really good. I like that. So I still don't know what to do for the feet. Like just have him like on his haunches. Or just have flame. Maybe he has no feet. Maybe just cop out and have flames at the ankles. But that's gonna be weird. Because if you cut off images at the ankles, it always comes off weird. Let's just drop some flat color for the bone at least. Is my color thing off? Yeah. So I'm looking at the right color as I'm doing this. How's that look? Okay, so like a bleach bone kind of look. Come on, give me a bigger brush. That's good for a base. We use it as a base right now. It's gonna be 10 o'clock soon, so we're 2 hours in. Might go a little further, but I do want to get at least like a base color in here, because I might also go back and do more cross hatching. And for those of you who know me, sometimes I'll do the cross hatching and leave it with cell shading, or sometimes I'll do cross hatching with a little bit more than cell shading. I'm still not sure if that technique looks really good. Maybe it's too much. It's too complicated for the eyes. Maybe I should just keep like cell shading with cross hatching on the inks. Maybe that's still the best way to go. Not too sure yet. But I mean, I like doing creature stuff like this, because I don't have to worry too much about the anatomy. Especially, if I'm just doing random character stuff. Is it a cheat? Absolutely. But I like it. Yeah, I think Ravenous is a good name for this guy. Because it's Ravenous and it's Gluttony, and those are two different things. Ravenous hints to like a rage and an anger, to a dangerous nature, or Gluttony is more like you want it but you're just too lazy to get it yourself. Because I say that because the original like pilot for Bottled Spirits, which this is based off of, the pilot that I want to finish like really tweaking. The pilot I wrote is like really a matter of fact, like this happens and this happens. I actually want to go back and like flush it out as like a story, as a short story, in that the main character comes across a ghost, a spirit that embodies more gluttony, drunken gluttony. It's kind of inspired by that one scene from Ghostbusters where Slimer is like trying to drink wine, but it's going right through his body. So it's more than just food. This thing is like drunkenness. Hedonism? Would it be hedonism? Like, what is gluttony if it's only for the drink? What would you call that? I'm trying to think of the right word for that. But that's the character he encounters. So it's definitely not this guy. It is the first ghost he encounters in the story is meant to be inspired by like Slimer for sure, absolutely. In terms of like attitude, but not appearance. I don't just want to do a general fat ghost, a spud, as he's called. Now, the issue I tend to run into when I do cross hatching is my cross hatching is light, meaning it's not fully cross hatching the entire thing because I still need to work on my skills of doing cross hatching. So I'll start cross hatching, but sometimes the cross hatching and the actual line art get a little muddy. So it's all technique I work on. So like here, the obvious shadows of like the eyes, the jaw which is in the background, and the waistline, that's solid cross hatching, but the rest of it doesn't have that. Hence the reason cross hatching makes with a little bit of like flat cell shading. And yes, I always, because of my lisp, I always fight the urge to call it shell shading. She sells seashells by the seashore. I'm giving the bones a slight skin tone. Technically, bones have blood in them. They are a living organ. They're not just solid. I'm giving a bit of a skin tone. Once again, this is the base, so I could definitely lighten this if I wanted to. I'm just thinking about, like, how would I do the hands? Like, what color do you do the hands, Dante? Would they be pale? If they're pale, they can't be paler than the bone, right? Things to think about. I'm thinking like a dull, like almost like a dull navy blue. Like it wasn't, not navy, but it was like a royal blue color, but there's like a dull color now for the pants. Yeah, it was like not gray, just no, gray is flat color. You need to have like a more like a grayish blue. That definitely helps. Avoid, avoid adding white to a color to make it lighter. Don't just add white to yellow. That dulls the color. Don't just add white to green. That dulls the color. So don't just make it gray. Make it bluish gray. And oh crap! I just went over the freak. I just realized I went over the bones. Damn you! There we go. I really should be doing the pants in a different layer, but I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing the pants on a different layer. I could later on, but right now, the pants are the same layer as the bones. I can always, like, as long as it's not accidentally on the ink layer, that's all that matters. Oh, that wasn't even a sneeze. I hate when that happens. Oh, that's horrible, man. That is like a horrible thing when that happens to me. It's not quite a sneeze, your body just lets out air. Ugh. That's actually what causes me to get asthma the most, when I sneeze like that. These bones, them bones. Is it these bones or is it them bones? I think it's them bones. Them bones, them dry bones. So I watched Critical Role. I got into it near the tail end of campaign 2 with not Vox Machina, that was the first one. The Mighty Nine. I got into it at a tailbone of I got into it at the tail end of Mighty Nine. But I've been seeing a lot of clips. I've been watching a lot of clips and shorts on YouTube from Dimension 20, Dimension 30. But basically, the other D&D group with Brendan Mulligan, I think his name is, and they did some campaign where there's like one of the guys is a brute, like he's like an that's the wrong color, a wrong pen that is. One of the guys is like an enforcer, and I'm sure people out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Fisk or Fix, his name is, and the running gag for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about is that you have this D&D guy, this D&D character, not an NPC, who is like a bruiser. He is the mob's right-hand man for fixing things, but he's also like has tons and tons of random facts, and that's his gimmick. He's like, he can't help but like say random facts before he threatens people. And the way the guy does it, he'll say the most random fact that has nothing to do with what's going on, but it somehow is so terrifying. But there was one clip where his fact lined up with what was going on, and he says, I hear people all the time talk about breaking all the bones in someone's body. And I think to myself, that's crazy. There are, and he named so many bones, there are something bones in the human body. One cannot truly break all the bones in someone's body. But you want to know what's a true fact? So he says that. You know what's a true fact? Most of the bones in the human body are actually located in the hands and feet. Now that's different. Because I'm pretty sure I could break most of the bones in your body. And then and like he wins and he basically intimidates this poor character into just giving up. He's like, you know what, I'm done. Because he said, no man can break all the bones in someone's body, but I'm pretty sure I could break most of the bones in your body. So this is definitely a more tan skin. I might adjust this color. For the hands. But for now, we'll go with it. Let's go to a peach side of it. There we go. But yeah, I think it's called The Fix. Now, he's not called Mr. Fix. I think it's called The Fix. And like you could tell the players having a ball just dropping these random facts, but that was one that was like meant to be a truly intimidating fact. Like, I will not break all the bones, just most of them in your hands and feet. Freaking love D&D. Haven't played it in quite some time. But just character creation. Like, I made my mistakes when I first played D&D. I used to get too excited, and I stepped on other people's toes while playing, and I'm aware of that. You know, I would get tunnel vision sometimes. But you have to remember, it's not just your game; it's everyone's game when you're playing. But the last time I played D&D, I tried to like step back as much as possible to let the two other guys play. But just because of certain circumstances, we had to stop playing. You know, we tried to play online, and it just like, you know, life gets in the way, even when you're playing online. But you have to learn to like step back and let other people have fun. And that's what I tried to do in the last campaign. I wanted to really develop my character by the rules of the game, not just the character I played. Like the last game was I played as a fighter, because I'm aware fighters have they're a lot easier to play from what I hear, and I wanted to like really like keep an eye on what I was leveling up to, like what feats I was picking up, what skills I was gonna introduce to my character. I really wouldn't mind coming back to that character. It was a tiefling fighter. And she was a fighter in that her character was meant to be a bit of a, like, she was like a troubled youth. She's like a troubled kid who just like felt the system failed her and her family. And the character's meant to be just entering her 20s. Sorry, just entering her 30s actually, given the layout of the storyline. But she has like this still like odd. She's meant to have this odd rebellious like early 20s mindset. Like she hasn't quite grown out of that because she's still just upset at the world. And that was meant to be her character. She's actually a bit of a. She's a fighter who's a pacifist, or rather a fighter who's not out to kill people. Like that's not her thing. And that was how I want to play it opposite of my original character, who's a barbarian, a la Conan, who just freaking like became, got a name for himself in like the fight pits. Like he threw down and he killed. But this character was more like someone who would fight, but wasn't like out to destroy the world. And I really want to develop her. That's some creepy looking skin tone hands. I'm down for it. I'm so tempted to cheat and just give him flames at his ankles, but I feel, it makes sense. Like he's not touching the ground, but it also seems like a complete cheat, like absolute complete cheat. But you know what? I'm gonna do a separate layer altogether. I'm gonna copy the flames I have and just drop them in there. First things first. We're gonna label this as the color layer for, well, his pants. Unlock the flame layer. Let me use. I'm gonna cheat. Just copy and paste that. But it needs a base. Let me get a little bit bigger first. And then I'm going to go ahead, select, I'm going to go ahead and grab you. Copy paste. Drag it down. No, hold on. Back. Deselect that first. So, let's combine some of this together. Nope, wrong one. Who's calling me? Freaking 10 at night, why is everyone calling me? Now this guy, he knows I'm streaming. Come on, you old phone. Bam. Okay, where was I? Sorry. So I'm basically just fudging this and making it. I'm just reusing flames, and I'm just gonna combine them. Let's try this again. Flip. At this rate, I should have just gone ahead and drawn it from scratch. That's the wrong tool. The bad thing about increasing the size and by a pinch, the resolution looks weird. So I have to like sharpen it up now. Should have done it from scratch. Does look good though. I'm just gonna, you know what? Gonna grab that, flip it around, Control paste, edit, clip horizontally. Gonna OK that. I'm gonna also erase a few bits of it. Oh, like just to change it up a bit, make it not exactly just a mirror image. Just want to sharpen up. Just want to sharpen up the flame on the edge of this. Dang it, why is everything moving? Stop moving, table, please. We combine all the flames into one massive flame. You know, it kind of looks like an old Japanese print. It kind of makes me think of like an old Japanese print. I kind of dig that. Canvas size. Let's adjust said canvas size. Save. I kind of want to say it's done, but it's not. Like, I want to put some... You know what? Let's push. Let's push, people. Let's push. Let's go to the color layer. I want to add colors to his hands. Even if it's just a little... Even if it is just cell shading. Do it all on the side. Where's my color pencil? Color pencil. It adds just enough of a color pencil for me. Adds just enough of a grit to like. It's not fully shaded, but it's close. It's also a matter of like how do you shade someone that has like literal flames and light from all directions? And the answer is, ow. Just kind of like doing like the underside of like his thumbs and stuff. Oh. Freaking created a guide. I'm wondering like why is this color not working? I grabbed the edge and created a guideline layer. I was like, why can't I draw on this layer all of a sudden? It was like drawing a guide layer. And I that's one thing I do find weird about Clip Studio. Like you make a layer for guides, but it also allows you to draw on that particular layer for the guide. Like it's not just a guide, it's a layer. And in DeviantArt, I don't think you actually had that. I think it was just guides with their own thing. So I'm going to take some of this green. No, that's the wrong tool. Where's my color pencil? There we go. Nope, that's too much. Needs to be opaque. There's opaque watercolor, but that's a big brush. If I shrink it, does it still work? Yeah. It adds just a little bit of green on the edges to kind of indicate, especially on the knuckles and like the bones, just to kind of show the flame is there, bouncing off of the skin. Yeah, that definitely helps. It's very minimal, but it helps. Okay. There we go. Color pencil. Just gonna add a little bit of even darker tone with the color pencil, very little. Just a few little passes. Not a lot, just enough to kind of like showcase. It's more than 2 tone. It's like 3 tones. Adding a much more whiter color of this skin. So this I am adding white to kind of phase it out. So you have like this, almost like a glow. I'm using the color pencil for this. Once again, because of the texture. And this will allow me to make it look like the hands are like truly emerging from the flames. Oh yeah. I like it. Just let me see. Oh, I got a bunch of got too many messages popping up on my phone, and not people who text me. I got the text messages I have there, but I got other messages too. All right, the bone. That's the bone color. Let's stick with the color pencil for its texture. Let's go a little lighter. Get some light spots in there. These are light. That's, you know what? Now let's make the light like, even though it's not green tinted, let's make the light where the flames are coming from. Just a pinch, even though it's not the green tinted light. We'll add green tint afterwards. Just me. I'm just flickering the layer to make sure I was on the right layer. So there's a little mixture of the lights I'm putting in here are a bit of a mixture of the light coming, literal light coming from the flames, plus just general like bleach bone kind of like highlights, if that makes sense. I will be adding green highlights to really emphasize the flame, but these are all for like, you know, bones have, once again, bones are living material, so they have texture, they have color. Nah, let's not do that. Or I could put green in the glow of the eye sockets. That'd be cool. Okay, now click our base layer, color, and now I'll do a little bit, a smaller brush. I'll do some just random spots of shadow. Do this dark. I might still come back and add green in there. Of course, the larger the brush you use for the color pencil, the more natural it looks when it spreads. Like it's in terms of like the shading. What if I take this dark green? No, it's not good. Let's go take the dark green and use the watercolor opaque, the opaque brush, and see how. No, it's still too dark. Go with the lighter. No. It's supposed to be opaque. Not really, that's not really opaque now, is it? Of course it's not opaque because it's on the same layer. It's kind of covering what's beneath it. So, you know what? Let me have a different brush. Transparent. Whoa. What does that do? Transparent watercolor? No, too much, too big. Well, that really makes it transparent. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Trying to dull that color down a bit. Don't know if I really like it that much, to be honest. Let me get that color pencil back in there. Cause the color pencil adds a nice texture, so it's still the color green's still there, but it's transparent. Yeah, I like that. Okay. 3 tones for the different tones. About three different tones. What we have left is the pantaloons. Time we got almost 10:40. You know what I'm gonna do, because I'm liking what I did so far. I am gonna make a new layer on top of what we have here. Okay, let's go with the light color first. That is the wrong tool. I meant to use my color pencil tool for the texture, like I was just mentioning. Then we'll clean the edges. Once again, we're doing this is a whole separate layer, which is why it's on top of the bone. It's not going to be... It's not going to ruin what we have so far. Again, how do you do shading if you're literally being lit by the, if the main thing is being lit by itself? Okay, let's go a pinch darker. Okay, switch to the pen tool to do some clean edges. Good. Okay. Use a sharp eraser to clean up the outside edges. So we still got the base blue. If we turn off this layer, the base blue is still there. Almost everything's almost, oh, except for the pants, almost everything's on the same layer in terms of color. Minus, of course, the fire as well. The fire is its own layer. Let's clean up the hands. I am digging these soundtracks so far. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, a little bit of cross-hatching for the solid black shadows of the hollow pans. Which kind of also fits the Ravenous idea. Look at the hiccups now, sorry. Because he's supposed to just be constantly hungry. So of course his pants are gonna always be kind of baggy. Now what I haven't done is added any green highlight to the pants so far. Not sure how that's gonna look. But first I want to get all of this edge cleaned up, that way I can get a nice view of how the pants are now. And then we'll see if we add a little bit of fire, you know, fire highlights. Firelights? Firelights, definitely. Bit of blue right there. That's on the base layer. Okay, close that. Guess it'll be like a hemp kind of color, right? For the hemp, we would not be using as my pad slides around, we would not be using color pencil. We're gonna stick with the basic pen tool just to give these sharp edges. This looks a little boring here though. There we go. Okay. You see anything bleeding through? There are some spots that are bleeding through. I actually do want to merge this. Check the arms real quick. Flicker, flicker. Oh, right there. Flicker, flicker. A little bit right there. A little bit right here. I want to merge this with the. I want to just merge all my color layers. Will I regret it later? Most likely. But I want to do that. I want to merge all my color layers and now do the highlight separate. Okay. And merge selected. Nice. Now, I do want to do some highlights in green on this, similar to how I did. It was transparent, wasn't it? Transparent. What was a good? What was the one I liked? Transparent watercolor versus opaque watercolor. That's it. That was my issue. I was getting them confused. So we're gonna take some green. And we're going to, I guess, where would I put it here? That's transparent. The hell? That's transparent, really? It's way too. If I go with the white. How is that transparent? No, how is that transparent? Excuse me. Put it on the belt. On the edges of... Well, definitely the edges of this, because the flame is like at the center of his body. So I do want to do some spots like that. Ooh, that's a bit loud music. On the bottom of the pants, because the flames are coming up his ankles. So a little bit of that. Not too much, not too much. Just a pinch here and there. Oh, there's a spot I missed on the original color layer. Fix that. That is not the right color. Yeah, just the transparent watercolor, the opacity was like set high. Like I must have actually messed with the settings of the brush itself. Nope, no. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna merge that all together. Screw it. Nope, no, don't do it, Dante. Don't do it. Not for the pants highlight. Okay. Yeah. That is, why is that a 5? That should not be a 5. That should be I'm actually quite happy with that. I don't want to add any more dark spots to the bone. I'm happy with where the bone is. That music needs to stop for a minute. Sorry, out of all the songs, this one's not chill, like at all. Oh my god. This is called Vlogger Background, by the way. And I think we went through all the music because I think it just looped around. Did it loop around? Did it loop around? Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, that one was way too much. Is this one more chill? Oh, that was way too much. Oh my goodness. Boom. All right. Now let's put a background on him. That blue background ain't gonna cut it. Let's try a different color. I mean, I could just go lighter background. Let's see. Why are you locked? Don't know. Come on. There we go. Light blue. File, save. Oh, stop slouching. Either I'm bending forward or I'm slouching. Both of them are bad options. Zoom in. Too much of a zoom. Zoom out right there. Right there. That looks pretty damn good in my opinion. Right? Right? Is my audio going out? Yes? Yes? Good. Testing. That looks damn good in my opinion. Yeah, so that is Ravenous. I'm having fun making these ghost characters. Just, you start with something. You start with a random image. I wanted to make a floating skull where the shoulders were high up. Then I went from there, like, oh, do I want the chest? No, forget the chest. I'm gonna just do the flames. Should I actually do flames in this middle? Flames everywhere. Should I give him fleshy hands? Yeah, give him fleshy hands. Why not? So this is Ravenous. And yeah, I like making these ghost characters because you start off with just like a basic idea or a shape or an image. Like, okay, I want for sure this character to have, I don't know, like spikes coming out of his arms, or are they spikes that he grew, or they spikes that are like bursting out of his skin, and then just kind of flow with it from there. Just flow with it. And that's what Ravenous was. Just, just the meat hands. Originally, I was gonna give him like razor bone hands, but then I thought something's even creepier about like the desperate meat hands. They're just like they need something. I don't know. It's right up there with the what's his name? The guy from Pan's Labyrinth who has the eyes on his hands. Like right up there with that. But yeah. And the green flame. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go back. Maybe in the streams, maybe on my own, but I am gonna go back and I'm gonna fine tune the other ghosts, the Flame Maid, and I'm gonna fine tune the Swimmer. And the thing is, the Swimmer, I'm happy with him, but I think his forearm looks weird. It's like a giant sausage. Like I need to make his forearm. I need to make his bicep more defined. Even though it's elongated, I need to make it more defined. I'm gonna go back and fix him. That way I will have like a slew. Is that my word? A slew of ghosts? I don't know. A gathering of ghosts. I will have a murder of ghosts. Makes more sense. I will have a murder of ghosts. That are meant to be topical in some way. Even though this guy's a bit like odd, like once you hear the name Ravenous, you go, okay, I kind of see it. The fangs, the needy hands, the bone body. The Swimmer is just the Swimmer. He's a guy who drowned. He's like in a perpetual state of just like always drowning. The Flame Maid. I keep saying maiden because it makes sense when you say Flame Maiden. But the Flame Maid is someone who's like in pain and in rage and at all times. Not a happy ending. But yeah. It is just about 11 o'clock. My actual bedtime alarm is about to go off in this minute. And I think that's it, people. Once, as always, big shout out to Katorius Rex, Joe Katorius Rex. Thank you for dropping in. And people who are watching this later on, definitely check out his Instagram account. Encourage him to upload more. Encourage him to upload videos on his YouTube channel. He keeps saying he's going to do it. You're going to do it, dude. You're going to do it. Thank you for everyone who might have dropped in, who's still with me. I can't even see how many people are in the chat right now. Watching the stream, if it's more than one at all. Reminder that all of these videos stay about a week or so on Twitch and then end up on my YouTube channel permanently, unless YouTube goes weird. So definitely check out my YouTube channel. Check out the Burglesot at all the links on the side. Instagram for works in progress. Twitter for just my nonsense and occasional works in progress. And my DeviantArt for final works. I'm going to be putting this guy up there as well. And once again, as always, I have to update my DeviantArt and just add more and more of my finished pictures. And stay tuned for the video of big old robot arm up on YouTube soon for the Halloween season. How to make your own cosplay costume, or at least how to handle foam of different types for your cosplay costume. I'll tell you right now, use the wrong foam and use the wrong glue, and you are a sad, sad boy or girl or whatever when making your cosplay. And I say that's it. So thank you again, once again, guys. I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.